which means we'll move straight on to Kevin Lindegaard and colleagues, I think. So Kevin's business is Crops for Energy. He's got almost 30 years experience in the biomass industry. There isn't much he doesn't know, or people that he doesn't know in this sector. His project in this programme is Envirocrops, which is a decision support tool to support farmers looking to grow biomass crops. So Kevin, I shall pass to you and your colleagues.
Thanks very much. I was expecting 10 minutes, so it looks like I might have even closer to 20, so lucky me. Now, I'm not going to drop my colleagues in it because they were going to help me, and then when I saw it was 10 minutes, I said, actually guys, you can stand down, and now it's back to me. But so it was going to be, four of us doing this talk, but it's just me on my lonesome. Thank you so much to Biomass Connect for inviting me to make this presentation. It's about Envirocrops, a digital consultant, and I'll tell you all about that. Now, this is a collaborative effort between myself, Crops for Energy, and AFBI, who have 50 years of research knowledge, so Chris has just been telling you all about that, NFU Energy, and the digital provider Calvin. Now, Envirocrops should be interesting to anyone and everyone who is interested in biomass crops, be they willow, miscanthus, eucalyptus, hemp, reed canary grass, poplar, you name it. We're going to make it, we're making it interesting to everyone. Think about your journey here today. We take for granted, I haven't got 10 minutes after all, John's turned up now. We take for granted the need for digital technology. So just think about your journey here. You probably used online maps to get here. You probably found an itinerary for a hotel, say, or for where you're going. You probably bought a ticket online or used your phone for a transaction. If you were coming here on a train, you might have even played a game to while away the time. We're trying to use all of these things in Envirocrops to make knowledge transfer as simple as possible. So the Envirocrops revolution is exactly that. And what we're going to do is trying to combine a comparison price website. We're going to provide a digital marketplace and digital directory so you can find the people that you need. We're going to create an online encyclopedia of all of the information that you could possibly need to know about and generate it in bite-sized chunks so you can use an AI chatbot to find the information. We're going to create a refined search engine so you can find all the people. If you searched for many of the small companies involved in this sphere, you probably wouldn't find them because of the SEO rankings. But if you go to Envirocrops, you should find everyone who's involved. And then if you add that to an interactive educational resource, that's Envirocrops. So, here's just some of the things that we're producing. So we've got a little video here, and this is the sort of thing, if you can't get out to the field, you need to know what these crops look like, how they're going to grow, what they're going to look like in the landscape. So we're providing you with these sort of resources where you can click around and find out in the sort of bite-sized chunks. Oops. So we've got best practice guidelines which we've updated. As I mentioned, the AI chatbot. In the next few months, you will be able to just put in a very, very silly question and get a really interesting answer, a good answer. Be that on disease, pests, yields, all sorts of things like that. Now, in my time as a consultant, last 20 years, I've done dozens, if not hundreds of feasibility studies. And the problem with a feasibility study is that on the day that it is presented to the client, it works. Perfect. They've got something at that point to make a decision. But what happens tomorrow if something changes? Now, yesterday we had a huge, big change. that changes everything. And you can't recrunch those numbers. You've got a report, it's stuck in stone. Now, Envirocrops is brilliant because it will allow you to go back and recrunch the numbers, look at things all the time. So on lots of different aspects, be it land, economics, logistics, the environment, the legal picture of all of these sort of things, we will update it constantly, and that's the great thing. It will stay agile. So as the picture changes, so can you come back and make a decision? And the world, the political world, keeps on changing. Geopolitical things happen all the time. Think of Gaza, think of Ukraine, think of Trump, think of COVID. All of these things affect everything that we do, and they certainly affect markets, and markets affect farmers. So agility is key. I mentioned the fact that we've created a game, this STEM game. This allows people to learn in a very, very simple and easy way, in an engaging way. Basically, this will turn people that are complete biomass rookies into biomass experts within 20 minutes. How can I do that, you think? That's impossible. Well, because we're creating something which allows people to find out all of the do's and don'ts, the problems and pitfalls, and also the potentialities from these crops. Now, the great thing is that you're playing with fake money, and you are able to make all of the mistakes in this interactive forum, rather than doing it with your own money, with your own land, and ending up out of pocket. So please, if you haven't done so already, go away and play the game. Try and get on the leaderboard, and you'll see that my name's not on there, which is probably because I try and play it really badly to see all of the outcomes. But it's a really nice way of upskilling the next generation, and that is key, because 2050, the farmers of 2050 are the school kids, the agricultural students of today, and of course also the policymakers and the carbon traders and all the other people. They're in school and in colleges today. We've also created this digital directory and marketplace, and we'll be bringing in an improved contractor supplier system in the future as well. All of these things are really helpful, because you will be able to go through you will be able to find the people that can help you make the right moves, but also, could you go back, sorry. You can also market your products on there at the moment. So if you're a supplier and you want to get people to know what you're doing and selling, then you can get that information. We've got 56 suppliers on there. Everyone needs to be on that system. As I said, it's a refined search engine. So if you're producing biomass feasibility studies, or if you're putting in a boiler, or you're replacing meters, all sorts of things like that, plus selling crops, the rhizomes, it's all should be on there. Markets are emerging all the time, and many of these are what I would say are beyond bioenergy, making them really exciting. So just look at these things like insulation and compost production, and then probably everyone's had a Charlie Bingham ready mill. That's popular. And then there's all these environmental uses that can be deployed whilst these crops are growing. So that's really fantastic. And all of these sort of things will be on the web app. We're going to start creating environmental decision support there as well. And of course, as incentives do come online, then we'll be able to bring in those aspects as well. And the great thing is we created a framework. We've been paid to produce this web app for the UK. But biomass crops are planted all over the world. So why should we stop just at the UK? It makes sense that we can go to all these other markets where these crops are grown, because they don't need to invest as heavily as we have done, because we've got all of the frameworks. So we're going to be searching out to not only work in different countries, but also to work with different people that are doing a research project that we can build a calculator and be their knowledge exchange partner for. That makes Envirocrops highly exportable. So hopefully Envirocrops UK will become Envirocrops US, and Envirocrops Italy, and Envirocrops Brazil and Argentina at some point in the future. Fingers crossed. As I said, everyone in the room should be interested in this. All of these people have a place to find a role in Envirocrops. If you're wanting to grow, or if you're wanting to sell, if you're an entrepreneur, a developer, you're an academic or a student, everyone stands to benefit. If you are a carbon trader, this is going to be something that you're trading in the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years. You want to skill yourself up, go to Envirocrops. And this brings it all back home as well. Policymaker up here. We have been funded by the UK government to create something wonderful. And we would like the people that have the courage and the convictions or the wisdom to fund us in the past, to continue with that courage and to embrace what we've created so far by working with us to create the policy, to create the incentives, to create the market, to make sure that in 25 years, when we are writing those postcards, looking back at the past, we can say we actually created that, and it did start in this room on this day. So thank you very much for your attention. I look forward to the panel session, and I'll take your questions then. Thank you.